Hello, people. I just want to cover the Stephen Greer press conference where Carol Rosing was in there. A lot of people going on about like this alien situation. Now, we all know about line signs and wonders and the strong delusion that causes a falling away. It's all like around the same time. I'm linking this to the alien agenda because to cause a great falling away, it's got to be something that contains a very strong persuasion to change paradigm. For instance, it's a big porker of a lie, basically. It's a big lie, and I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, these spirits can appear as anything anyway. So, what we're seeing on Mars, what we're seeing on the Moon, don't you think Lucifer's had enough time to play around and do this kind of thing to back up this agenda of his anyway? He's not stupid. Do you know what I mean? I'll give him that much. He's not stupid, and if he's going to play a game where he wants total credibility, he wants to rule the world, etc., etc., out in the open. He's going to do it in style, in the best way he can, and I can tell you something right now, the guy isn't a simpleton, and he's had this mapped out for a long time. He's been planning this for a long time. Now, these people at this press conference, Carol Rowson might be a nice person, school teacher, fifth grade, I understand. Starts hanging around with Vernon von Braun, ends up director of Fairchild Industries. No one asking any questions. Why isn't anybody asking any questions like, what's she doing hanging around with Vernon von Braun? Who's Vernon von Braun? Where did he come from? Who was he hanging around with? Hitler. NASA brought him in with open arms and he didn't face his war crimes. He ended up with NASA. Basically, these people's roots aren't very tasteful. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're all on the inside, and this is all just part of the disclosure project. Oh, isn't that nice one that just disclosed this to us? I don't know, maybe some of them are genuine. If that's the case, fair play to you. God be with you, and he's going to sort this out soon. But certainly, from what I'm seeing, I'm looking up people, and it's like, well, these were probably involved with the Jack Parsons project and things like that, the Babylon Working, like nasty little project, and packed full of occultism. The New Age is packed full of occultism. All of the teachings, Blavatsky, for instance, and Bailey, they're all occultists, they're all known occultists, well-known occultists. And so Pike, Albert Pike, you can smell that one coming, you know what I mean? You hear these people and these channeled messages and whatever, and it's all very Pike. And isn't it funny how everything surrounding this New Age thing just denies God? It tends to push God away each time and call Christianity a problem. It doesn't have a problem with all these other false religions out there. But yeah, it's worth a thought, people. You're coming across somebody, look them up, check them out, see what they're all about, see where they come from, because it's it's weird. How do you get from fifth school grade teacher? You know what I mean? It's like hanging around with Vernon von Braun, and he's well in with NASA. They open their arms to him after he escaped his war crimes, hanging around with Hitler. Are we supposed to trust these people? It might be true what they've said, but where they're coming from, they're probably, the elite always find a way of telling us that they're going to do something before they do it. And that's a known fact now. Yeah, we've been picking up the fragments of that over time. And it's been showing, basically. So is it just the elite telling us what they're going to do before they do it? Are these people part of the elite? Very possibly. But then it's up to you to decide. But, as Jeremiah, it says in Jeremiah 17 verse 5, don't trust in any man. So at the end of the day, I'm watching these people. I know where they're coming from. I know where they're being kind of thing. So, some of it could be lies. Some of it could be genuine. It could be doing a staged alien attack. I'm not too sure. But we're going to get the good, bad alien case scenario. All those greys that were slicing all the animals up, cutting them up and abducting all these people under the Eisenhower administration agreement, and all the rest of it. It's like they were the naughty ones. They were the bad ones. It's like Nam and you've been caught with your hands in the cookie jar, Lucifer, and now you've got another excuse for it by saying that they're the bad ones and we're the good ones. So, you've got to play that card. Anyway, there's a lot better to come, but Christians have got a lot to go through as well. I think it's just going to be a huge wake-up for everybody. All these different religions are just going along, plodding along, going to church on Sunday, thinking that they pay their respect to God and things like that. And it's like, it's not about that. It's just a massive picture. You've got to get out there. You've got to tell people, because the time is short, it's closing in, and all the details gathering together. Information is pulling together. Things that are underground are being found out. It says that in the Bible. It's all going to be on earth, man. We're all going to know about it. So, just check your information out. But that's my thoughts on that. I've had a few people sort of say, "Who's that troll with that troll woman with the blonde hair on the press conference about this alien agenda and this that and the other?" Done my homework on it. I was, I know she's Carol Rosen, and I knew who he was referring to. I'll just sort of do my homework and find out. And it's funny how they all link to another piece of bad news and another piece of bad news, and then even some far nastier like Jack Parsons, Alistair Crowley, and Albert Pike. So, my goodness, I'm telling you something. When this first started hitting me, when Jesus opened a little bit by bit for me, I can understand why he said, "Look, you wouldn't be able to bear it if I told you everything now," and I can see why, because it is heavy. It's heavy news. It's a lot of information. All this genetic experimentation, like the missing animals and things like that, what Lucifer could have done with them. And of course, they know exactly what they've been doing. So they'll have cat people, they'll have horse people, they'll have they've done it before. Remember before the flood, they've started finding all the bones and everything. That's come and nicking them. It got out of hand. There was loads more being found. They couldn't keep on top of it. Now that's all over the place. You can find human giant bones. So basically hybrid. Well, it's all in the Bible as well. So, Christians, they've done it before, they'll do it again. So, you've got to take notice of this now. You've got to take notice of what's going on. You're going to see some weird stuff. They're not alien. They're Lucifer's projects. Some of them are demons. You're warned. That's it. So I've got to say, we've got a bit of a rough ride to go through before Jesus sorts this out. But if you're prepared to die for him, it's not scaremongering, but that could well be the case. I'll get into that as well. I'm not scaremonger. I'm telling you what's written in the Bible, right? When I tell you about people being put in prison and beheaded, etc., because that's written. We've been warned about it. We're running away from it, saying, "But how can you bring people to the ministry if you're scaring them?" There's a lot of better things to come, but at the moment, we have got to take notice. We've got to open our eyes now. We're right at the brink of this. We've got to open our eyes and suss this all out. All right, then. I'll get into that, and I'll give you the scriptures for the imprisonment, etc. But, when you get into God, you're not afraid of dying, mate. You know what I mean? you've seen a lot, you've heard a lot, you just get on with it. And, that's about the size of it, so I'll leave you with that, and I'll give you a few names there, look them all up, and the Babylon Working Project and things like that, who's hanging out with who, who's saying what these days, who's linked to who. Interesting as well, interesting. So I think everybody's job that has got a little bit of knowledge is to try and share it as much as you can, and don't tolerate any nonsense, just carry on with it, you know what you know. Don't let anyone bug you about it, just you know what you know, and that's it. You've been given this information because you're meant to have this information. People that don't want to know or don't really, they just criticise it. There's a difference between people that can't understand to those that just plainly criticise without any good reason. Some people are just not meant to know. Don't take it to heart, just some aren't meant to know. That's it. We're at the end game now, and Jesus is sorting his people out. Lucifer's sorting us out. That's about that. So anyway, on to a different subject next. So, all right then. I hope the sound's carrying okay. Any problems, message me, let me know if the sound isn't coming through okay. And we'll see what we can do. But so far so good. See you in a bit. Bye.